Alright, so let's check out Gain Reduction 2. So immediately you can see it's got a brand new graphical interface, looks beautiful, has a bunch of new knobs and buttons and gizmos, which is pretty cool. Now I'm going to go through and explain what each button does. Okay, so first you have the obvious one. This is the power button. Basically just a regular old bypass switch, nothing fancy there. Now we can go over to the mode, which is a pretty cool feature that Gain Reduction 2 has. There's a heavy mode, which is like the classic gain reduction compression algorithm and saturation. Or we can flip over to the light mode, which is a lighter compression and lighter saturation. So you can use this if you're stacking compressors or you only need a little bit of compression, or really the options are open for you, which is pretty neat. Next we'll go over to the mix knob. The mix knob functions as if you're using parallel compression. So all the way to 100 is your full process signal. If you flip it all the way over to 0, that'll leave your dry signal. So you can kind of play around with the balance between the two. Next we'll go to the input knob. The input knob just controls your incoming signal into the plugin. Since Gain Reduction 2 has a set threshold, this gives you control on how hard you hit the compressor. The output knob. This little guy controls your makeup gain, your final output signal, and it also goes into an output saturator. It's designed not to clip, so if you push it hard enough, you can get yourself some tasty distortion. Next we have the breath knob. It functions like a debreather, essentially. You can minimize the amount of breaths that are coming through your vocal recording, which is nice. Next to the breath button, we have the Sibilance button, which instead of taking away the breaths, the Sibilance button takes away the harsh S sounds. It functions as a de-esser, works really well. I love that it's included in the plugin. It just makes having everything right there a lot easier when you're processing vocals. And then there's the Slay knob. That just controls how much your signal is being compressed, similar to the old gain reduction. Okay, so the next knob we have is the warmth knob. And what this does is adds warmth to your signal, but it does it in parallel. So you can get a nice little subtle warm saturation added to your signal, which is really neat. Okay, next we have the clarity knob and the body knob. Those two are pretty self-explanatory. Clarity for clarity, body for body. And last but not least, the air knob. This one is pretty self-explanatory. If you want to add some air to your signal, go ahead and mess with this guy. And that does it for the features of this plugin. It has everything you need to make awesome vocal tracks.
Take me down to the river, take my life before take another. I can't seem to find my will and say everything that you took from me. Mistake my apathy, take away what's underneath. I failed you, my beliefs. It's a shame, it's like take me down to the river, take my life before take another. I can't seem to find my will and say everything that you took from me. Mistake my apathy, take away what's underneath. I failed you, my beliefs. It's a shame, it's like oh, if this all mattered.